Good evening, Tallahassee, and welcome to our first October show of the season, because fall is here.
I couldn't be more excited. It is Monday, October 2nd. I am student meteorologist Megan Berry.
And I'm student meteorologist Colleen Peterson.
It did feel a bit like fall today. It was a lot cooler, it was cloudy, and I am not missing those 90-degree temperatures.
No, me either, and it was great bringing out the jackets and seeing people walk on campus not having sweat drip down their face because it's so hot here.
We even brought out the pumpkins, so fall is officially here. We are getting in that Halloween spirit that I look forward to all year.
Yeah, I'm already thinking about what I want to be for Halloween. Maybe I'll be a meteorologist for Halloween.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. These cool temps are here for a bit longer, but the official fall weather doesn't start for another several weeks.
Yeah, because we don't really experience the whole autumn effect. Maybe if we were a little more north in like Montana and New York, we might feel a little bit cooler.
It does feel a bit cool here, but I mean, it's the Sunshine State. We are used to those warm temperatures.
Yes, we definitely are. But I wonder what is going to be going on this whole week.
Yeah, we're going to send out to Brantley with an overview of what's going to go on in Tallahassee and the region this week.
That's right. Even though it is feeling more like fall, it's still very warm out there. 84 degrees currently in Tallahassee under mostly cloudy skies. Humidity is what's really making the difference right now, making it feel like fall because humidity is low at about 57%. So it's feeling a lot more comfortable than what it was a few days ago. So again, it's currently 84 in Tallahassee. We got to a high day of 85. Very similar conditions around the region, 84 in Bainbridge and Mariana, and 81 in Apalachicola. It's a little bit cooler there along the coast. Tomorrow in Tallahassee, it's going to be warming back up just a little bit, 87 with a mix of clouds and sun with very low rain chances. So we're looking forward to that. Nice sunny skies. And it's now for the rest of the show, it is October now, so we're going to have some Halloween style things going on. Our first taste of fall is in full swing here, but we're also watching the tropics as we could see another development in the Gulf of Mexico towards the end of next week. Now we're going to take it back to the desk with Colleen and Megan.
Thank you so much, Brantley. So we're going to go ahead and talk about some events going on in Tallahassee. To start us off in October, we got some pretty cool stuff going on this weekend.
Yes, we do have some exciting stuff to look forward to this fall, like Downtown Get Down is this Friday at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, before every FSU home game, and I believe there's 6 this year, there are food trucks, live music, local charities, local artists, and it's for the whole family.
Yep, and that's centered right in the middle of College Town, so make sure to go check it out this Friday at 6 o'clock.
Nothing gets you in that Seminole spirit like some local fun. So.
Yes, and also if you're interested in the Greek Festival, it's October 6th and 7th. There'll be food, culture, and all this jazz.
Greek food is so good. It's one of my favorite types of food. How about you?
I personally don't like Greek food because I'm opposed to eating lamb, but hey, if you like lamb, go to the Greek Festival because there'll be a lot of it.
It's at the Greek Orthodox Church. It's on Phillips Road if you guys haven't seen it, and go ahead and get some Greek food if you're in the area. Yeah. Another event, October 5th at 6, there's going to be a full moon paddle hosted by FSU Campus Rec. And that's just where they take you to local waterways and explore it by moonlight. That sounds interesting.
Wow, no, I have not, but I'm actually going to go to that because that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to see some of the things I've seen during the day at night. So that would be really fun. And of course, Saturday we have our FSU football game. I think that we're going to touch on that later in the show. But
beat Miami.
If you're not aware of that one, I don't know where you've been because it's the talk of the school. But we're going to go ahead and send things out to Sydney at the wall for a look at local weather.
Thanks, guys. Now, we are taking a look at our current weather. Today was the first taste of fall that we've seen. Although those highs were up at 85, it did feel a little bit more like fall outside. Now, we are right on average with those highs. And as for our lows, just slightly above average with a low of 69 degrees. Now, taking a look at our radar, this is why it feels more like fall, because this radar is not broken. It's just clear with one little pop-up shower slightly to the south of Wilma. Now, this fall pattern is new to us because we are used to many afternoon showers that come with summertime weather. Current temperatures around the region, we are seeing a trend of mid-80s. Valdosta seems to be our hot spot at 85, and then we have a cool spot down there at Wilma with 79 degrees. But all in all, things are cooling down for our region. Now, the dew points are also lowering as it feels less humid outside now that it's fall time. 67 in Tallahassee, so we're no longer seeing those oppressive 70s. I mean, it could still pop into the 70s, but 69 is what we're seeing currently. Monticello at 70, and down by the coast, we do see slightly higher dew points at 71 and 73 in Apalachicola and Caribou. Now, looking at our heat index, this is when we combine the humidity and the air temperature outside for what it really feels like outside. And we are going to notice Tallahassee 87, so the heat index is not sweltering. It only brought our temperature up 2 degrees, so it feels 2 degrees warmer outside than what it actually is. Down in Apalachicola, feels like 86, and for the rest of the region, high 80s is what it's feeling like outside. Now we are going to take a look at the water vapor. As you can see, there was just a green, juicy blob that made its way west, and other than that, it is dry. We do notice some upper level clouds making the way across the radar as well, but other than that, it is a pretty dry afternoon. As for tonight, 68 degrees, comfortable night that's going to be happening tonight. Some passing clouds and a little bit of wind, but it is going to be a beautiful day for a walk or to get outside and do some night activities. Now, taking a look at our 5-day forecast, we are going to notice Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday that we are going to have those mix of sun and clouds, and no rain chances for Tuesday or Wednesday. As for Thursday, popping back up into 10% rain chances. Friday and Saturday, those are rising slightly to 20%. As for our high temperatures, they are going to be sticking in the high 80s, teetering between 86 and 87, and those lows sticking near 70. So now we are going to take it over to Colleen with a look around our southeast.
Thanks, Sydney, for letting us know what's going on in Tallahassee, but as a whole, over the southeast region, we are seeing fairly the amount of same temperatures, around 84 in Tallahassee, 81 in Miami. Now, we are currently in a stationary front, so it's pretty subtle across the whole southeast region. Now, the dew point is at 67 and 78 in Miami. It's a little bit more humid as you get further south in Florida, but around this area, we're around 50 to 60% humidity, which is a little bit relieving because we're used to the higher end. Now, as I step over here, as we look at the whole southeast view, we do have cloudy skies across the whole southeast region. As we see, Orlando had a little bit of spotted showers, and we do see cloud coverage across the whole region as we are in the stationary front, meaning that nothing is really going to change. It's going to stay this way for the next few days. Now, we do have a little bit of drier weather. As we see, they're up by Little Rock, they're experiencing more dry weather. But around Tallahassee, we don't have as much dry weather as we are expecting. But as fall goes on, we should see those the water vapor dissipate. Now, the futurecast radar, what can we expect? Now, it's the same kind of pattern. We'll have spotted showers, but mainly cloudy skies and a little bit of breeze is in the forecast. As this upper level trough, we do have the winds coming from the northeast, which will help cool off our temperatures a little bit. And as tonight, we should see a great night tonight at 68 degrees, which is a very nice night tonight, and 71 in Orlando. But as you get further south, it should be a little bit hotter. Now, tomorrow, we should have 88 degrees with partly cloudy skies, and as we go further south, we should expect more pop-up showers around Orlando, Miami area. So, thank you.
Thanks so much, Colleen, with that look around the southeast. That was awesome.
Yeah, well, now while many places in the southeast and the Caribbean are still feeling the effects of recent hurricanes, things have been pretty quiet in our neck of the woods recently, but things are definitely going to change because we are in the peak of hurricane season in October.
Yeah, definitely. So there is a lot of potential, and in our near future, there is a potential of formation in the Central America region.
That's right. It's a very low chance right now, but that system is expected to form near the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico and then start slowly drifting towards the northwestern Gulf of Mexico, where it could bring more tropical moisture, rain, and it might even form into a tropical depression or storm, but it's just too far away to know yet, but we're going to keep an eye on it and keep you up to date. And it's forming, it's called the Central American gyre.
Yeah, and what a gyre is it's a large, broad area of low pressure, and it's located over the Central American Isthmus. So this is something we are keeping an eye on due to the fact that it's peak hurricane season and it is potential for formation.
That's right. You know, we do have some conditions out there that are very favorable for tropical development. So when we watch things like this, like the gyre that's there this time of the year, typically when it interacts with very conducive conditions around it, it can form into tropical depressions or storms. You know, ocean temperatures are in the mid-80s for most of the Caribbean and Gulf.
This is very warm for at this time of year, and this is one of the reasons that a lot of the formations, the potential formations, have formed and actually have had worst case scenarios because this water just feeds the systems and it absolutely becomes a hurricane.
Yeah, that's right. Right now, all the temperatures in the Gulf are ranging between 2 and 5 degrees above average. So it's definitely really warm out there. A lot of fuel for any storm that does form, but nothing to worry about just yet. We're going to keep an eye on it, so we're going to stay very aware and cautious, but we're going to keep watching it as it moves towards us. But now we're going to take a look at the local weather here in Tallahassee with Megan at the wall.
All right, thanks, Sydney. Thanks, Brentley. Here's a weather stem from our FSU rec fields, our IM fields. You can see today was just very cloudy, but very cool. It was very pleasant weather out, but not a ray of sunshine, just peeking in there just a little bit late afternoon, but the whole day, pretty much these low-lying, very mild cloud coverage we had today. So just one of those October days that we're going to ease into as cooler temperatures approach later in the year. Taking a look at today's almanac, our temperatures today, our high was only 85, didn't reach 90, so it's cooling off a bit. Average is 85, so we're right on the nose there. Record was 94 in 1986, so a little bit hotter in 1986. Low today was 69, our average low is 63, so we did not hit that. We were a little bit higher. 39 was the record in 1984. That is very cold for the beginning of October. Our current temperatures in the whole region, sitting at all in the 80s. Wilma is the outlier here at 79, but the entire region just feeling those mild 80s. So things did cool off a bit with that lack of sun penetrating those clouds. On the water, they were just a little bit cooler with 82, but the entire region just getting a little bit of a cool down from those hot weeks and temperatures we had been experiencing prior. Our current dew point, though, very mild, 64 in Tallahassee. That's just our mildly uncomfortable range. Things were a little humid out, but we didn't get much rain today, so we're sitting pretty comfortable for us Floridians that are used to that. 73 in Carabel, they're of course getting that sea moisture and they're a little bit more humid down there. The entire region looking pretty similar. Thomasville 68, Monticello 70, so just very mild temperatures and dew points throughout the entire Big Bend area today. Our satellite and radar not showing us much in the region. Wilma, just a little bit of stuff going on right there. Just a little pop-up stuff down here, Apalachicola and Wilma, but the Tallahassee region stayed clear. The entire Big Bend region staying clear today, so just clouds, no rain, no sun, just a very mild October day. Hopefully getting more of those days because I enjoyed that weather today. Our air quality, my allergies have been pretty bad lately, but we can see that it's in between good and unhealthy. So we're sitting in very yellowish tone throughout the region, meaning that our pollen, there is stuff in the air causing allergies, but down by the water, a little bit clearer. Obviously, they're getting that sea breeze, pushing that pollution and pollen out, so they're sitting a little bit cleaner down there. We're going to go ahead and take a look at what's going on with tonight's forecast. We see it's 68. It's a comfortable night. Some passing clouds. We've been experiencing clouds all day, so that's nothing new. A mild wind, only east 5 to 10 miles an hour. So if you can get out tonight, I recommend it. If you can open up those windows, I recommend it. I have been feeling those cool breezes as I open up my windows. So tonight's a good story. Taking a look at our forecast for tomorrow. 87, a mix of sun and clouds, so that sun's going to be creeping back in, clouds moving out just a little bit, still keeping those low rain chances and that mild wind. So 87, hotter than it was today, but not 90, so not ideal. But we're going to go ahead and send it off to Brantley with a look at what's going on nationally.
Thanks, Megan. So right now across the nation, we have a very active weather pattern, especially out west over there in places like Montana, Idaho. They are seeing a lot of snow right now. We have an upper level trough, a very early season cold system that's starting to move through. It's bringing some heavy snow to places like Denver, Steamboat Springs, and Colorado as well. And right along the edge of that trough, we do have a line of thunderstorms that is starting to form. That's bringing a slight risk of severe storms to places like Nebraska and Kansas tomorrow. So taking a look at our satellite and radar, we do see that snow forming up there in the northwestern parts of the country. A very heavy snow, but right on the other side of it, it kind of mixes into a mix of snow and rain, and then just forms into rain on the eastern side of that line. We do see a few thunderstorms that are moving up into Canada there from Minnesota and Michigan, but we do have some of that snow that's going to kind of hang around for the next couple of days, but it should start to move out by Wednesday morning out of the northwest. But we can see that cold area right there where the temperatures have decreased a lot. We're down 17 degrees from this time yesterday in Denver. Other places are seeing a little bit warmer, especially on the East Coast. Places down here like in New Orleans, for the Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi area, they're a little bit cooler, but that's because they've had a lot of cloud cover and a few rain showers today. That's because of that Gulf moisture moving up. That's been keeping things pretty cool. They haven't had much sun there, so they didn't have much of a chance to heat up. But our water vapor is also showing that story as well. We do see a very dry stretch here across the center of America, and then we do have the more moist air, the more damp regions in the northwest and the southeast. We do see a lot of tropical moisture right here, just kind of hanging out there along the Gulf Coast. Tonight's forecast, much cooler in the northwestern part of the country. Like we were just talking about there, we do have that trough that is bringing a pretty weak cold front, but it's still a substantially different story than what they were seeing the last few days. So down to 37 degrees in Salt Lake City, 34 in Denver, 47 in Seattle, and on top of that, it's going to be pretty wet too. They're going to have the snow and the mix and the rain all in these areas, so it's going to be a very wet cold as they move into tonight. Other places, though, in the country are going to be hanging on to the heat, especially in the southeast. They are 74 in San Antonio, 79 in New Orleans, 68 here in Tallahassee, and then tomorrow things start to warm back up, especially in the southeast. We're going to see temperatures generally in the mid to upper 80s in the southeast, with a line of thunderstorms stretching all the way through the center of the country, from Texas up there to Canada. That's because of that system that's moving through. And then right behind that system, that we are going to see more sunny skies, a little bit drier air after it passes through, up to 96 in Phoenix tomorrow. So that's what's going on here in the country. We're going to take it back to the desk now with Sydney and Colleen.
Thanks so much, Brantley. Now, due to the fact that this is the first show of October, Colleen and I have some fun facts about fall for you guys. So the first one is, fall is peak migration for birds to go from the north back to the south for their migration. Now, these journeys are about 11,000 miles each way for their annual migration.
I have trouble running a mile, so I can imagine.
Can't imagine them trying to fly. And they do it. You can see them a lot of times forming that V and making their way either north or south, depending on the season.
Wow. So. Also, another fun fall fact, do you know why the leaves are actually red and purple?
No, I don't.
Well, it's caused by the presence of sugars from the sap, and then that causes the change of color along with temperature.
Wow, I didn't know that, to be completely honest.
Well, now you know.
Now you know, yeah, exactly. And also, contrary to popular belief, squirrels who have spent their entire autumn collecting acorns and food do not do that for hibernation. They do it because their food resources get covered during the time of snow and whatnot. So they have to keep their collection high, and it's not for them to hibernate. So
wow, I honestly did not know that. I thought it's because of what bears do,
yeah.
But I guess all their food is gone.
I thought they were
snow.
Yeah, I thought they were another animal that slept all winter long. So
also, if you didn't know, now you know that if you live closer to the equator, they don't really experience an autumn season.
Yeah.
So they don't really get the cool temperatures.
That's definitely
like
something that you wouldn't necessarily think about. Thinking about it, it definitely makes sense, but I've never thought about that before, so.
Yeah, here in Tallahassee, we do have a slight, we cool off eventually. It's coming, I promise.
And those leaves do change eventually, too. And also, you're bound to see pumpkins like we had on this desk before, and the pumpkin was first named by the Greeks, and they called it the pepon. So I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did not. But now I sound fancy when I'm carving my pumpkins. Like, did you know this is a pepon?
And on that note, we are going to take things out to Brantley with a little tour around Florida.
Thanks, ladies. I'm looking forward to fall also, but right now in South Florida, they are seeing a lot of rain showers there. It's not really feeling like fall for them because it's very warm and rainy there, just like they were seeing most of the summer. We have a lot of easterly breezes that are bringing storms from the Atlantic across the southern tip of Florida there. We have some showers, but luckily none of them have been very severe or strong. Just a little bit of rain here and there, kind of a hit or miss story. But For Miami, though, they are going to have that 80% chance of rain continue tomorrow as that easterly breeze does hang around for a little while. So because of that, it's going to be a little bit cooler, too, at 83. And then it starts to gradually warm back up as the week goes on. But then as we move into Tampa, a little bit farther north, they have this kind of the same story there. A few showers there, but not as many as the southern tip of Florida. So we do have a few spotty showers. They could see a few things maybe pop up as we move into the evening and tomorrow. They have a 50% chance of rain, and it's going to be a little bit warmer too because their rain chances are a little bit less. They're going to see more sun, and it's going to allow for a little bit more heating. So 91 in Tampa tomorrow. Not getting very cool at night though. Hanging out there in the upper 70s is going to feel very warm and humid over the next few days until we see a change in the weather pattern. And the rain chances are going to kind of float between 50 and 60% for the next few days for the middle of the week. Central Florida, Orlando, seeing very clear skies right now. They had a few clouds move through earlier, and we're going to see kind of similar conditions to what Tampa was seeing with a high near 90 tomorrow. Chances of rain there are a little bit lower at 40%, but highs generally in the upper 80s with lows in the low to mid 70s. And then as we take things over to the western side, the Panhandle, Pensacola is seeing the effects of that easterly breeze as well, where they have a lot of showers coming off the Gulf of Mexico into the area. That's going to continue as we move into tonight. We have a high tomorrow in Pensacola, 89 degrees. It's similar on Wednesday at 88, and then cooling off after we have a nice cold front move through on Wednesday night. Now we're going to take it over to Megan with an Around Florida.
Thank you so much, Brantley. Pensacola looking nice. Might drive over there this weekend if I have time. Current conditions across Florida. Not looking like fall, like Brantley said. Looking a lot like summer. We see a lot of 80s. 80 in my hometown, Fort Myers, and just rainy. Tampa, same story, mostly cloudy. Tallahassee, mostly cloudy. So just the entire state feeling pretty similar all throughout the region. Always Key West, just a little bit of sun, a little bit of paradise down there, but nothing that's going to be affecting us in Tallahassee. Water vapor, though. Not too much moisture over the region, but a lot of this green color, that indicates a lot of moisture in the upper atmosphere. The orange indicating dry air, but we don't see much of that anywhere near the region. So that humidity is just here to stay up until Monday evening. We see that panning through then. So we're going to be feeling those moist temperatures. In our 24-hour temperature change, we can expect a 10-degree increase in temperature in Tallahassee. So that cool weather was just a little bit of a taste of what we can expect, but tomorrow we're going to be rising back up into those hot temperatures that we've been feeling. Tampa, 7 degrees. Fort Myers, they're getting a little bit cooler. They're getting some rain today, so they're going to be feeling a little bit cooler tomorrow. But Tallahassee, our region, going to be warming up. So go ahead and put those jackets back in the closet. They're not ready to be out permanently yet. Tampa, a little bit of wind from the east, 9 miles per hour. Tallahassee, 14-mile-an-hour wind. So it was a bit windy today, but with the cloud coverage, that wind did feel very nice and cooling as we felt those lower temperatures. Satellite and radar through Monday evening showing us we have a lot of action down here in South Florida. That rain moving across eastern Florida to western Florida. Stuff over here by New Orleans, we see a lot of moisture and precipitation over there, but Tallahassee staying dry, just a bubble of dry, cloudy air over Tallahassee. So really nothing that's going to be affecting our region anytime soon. Looking at tonight's forecast, 68. That feels like a perfect temperature. That's an overnight low though, so not right now. Later in the evening, it's about 7 o'clock right now. As we approach 1 a.m., 2 a.m., it's going to be dropping down to 68. Fort Myers, 74. Tampa, 73. Orlando, 71. So just room temperature conditions if you are inside an AC. Feels about 71. 74 Fort Myers. Key West with that sun, they just barely drop below 80. Tomorrow's forecast, looking pretty good too. A lot of clouds, a lot of upper 80s, a lot of lower 90s. So the whole state feeling very mild, very fall-esque, but only for the next 24 hours. We're going to go ahead and send things off to Colleen at a look at some more local temperatures.
Thanks. Now we do have some watches, warnings, and advisories going on in Tallahassee. Now around the area from Tallahassee to all the way across the whole region of Florida, we have a small craft advisory with waters from Swanee River to Apalachicola, and that should expire around Friday around 8 o'clock. But now we're going to go into the current conditions in Tallahassee. We have 85 degrees. Humidity not that bad today. We are feeling a little bit like fall today with those slight winds coming in and those cooler temperatures. But now as we go into the satellite and radar, we don't have a whole lot of rain, but we do have clouds in the forecast. Now Wilma did have a little bit of spotted showers, but across the whole region we do have that fall-like weather coming into play. Now the winds are switching a little bit to northeast as that upper level ridge will move up further north, bringing in those cooler temperatures from inland and decreasing the humidity all around. Now the water vapor map, now we don't see a whole lot of water moisture in the forecast, but as we go in through the rest of the week and towards the end of the week, we should increase the humidity and a chance of rain showers as we head into the weekend for game day. Now, if you're having some fun in the sun out on the water, now it is beautiful out there with only 1 foot or less of surf. So if you are into fishing or anything, it's a great day to go out on the boat. And the UV index is at 8, which is very high, but we've seen worse at 11. So still put on that sunblock if you are going out there. Now tonight, we do have a great night ahead of us, 68 degrees in the forecast. I would advise to bring a slight jacket if you are going out. We do have a few bit of clouds still passing through, but for the most part, we do have a very good day in Tallahassee. Now, tomorrow we can expect a mix of sun and clouds. Now, we are in a stationary front, so today's forecast is going to be a lot like tomorrow, but it might feel a little bit more hot, so as we see the sun breaks through the clouds. Now, as we go into our 7-day forecast, we do have a consistent forecast from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And as we go into the weekend, there might be more slight chances of rain showers. And that brings it on to game day on Saturday versus Miami here at home.
That's right. The weekend's always in view there on our 7-day, and we are expecting some slight rain chances right now for the game, between 20 and 40%. It keeps kind of going back and forth, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that for sure.
Definitely keep an eye on that because it is Monday. It's still 5 days away, so we'll have a more definite forecast later on the week for your game day.
Yeah, one of the big components that's going into that forecast is if that tropical system does form, whether it's weak or strong, it could still bring some more moisture to the area. So that might be something to watch in the next few days to see if it develops, and that might affect our game day forecast that's already been rescheduled once from earlier this year.
Yeah, let's hope and pray that it is this Saturday.
That's right. The tropics keep on rearranging our football schedule, so hopefully things hold off for us. Yeah, right there on Saturday, 20% chance of rain for now, high near 87 and sunny skies. We could see some clouds move in here and there, so hopefully that forecast sticks and we don't see anything too crazy around the area.
Yeah, but what I'm most excited about is the night temperatures. As we go into fall, like cooler.
Oh,
like
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
cooling, 68 degrees. That is a nice night.
Yeah, 60s and 70s are a lot more comfortable because earlier this year, I mean, especially in the summer, temperatures were in the upper 70s every night, and it was really humid. It wasn't feeling very good outside at all. It was feeling really sticky and warm.
Sticky, icky feeling, and let's hope that keeps going away and we keep seeing those numbers go down as we go throughout the next few weeks. But a little bit of weather history. This day on 1882, an early season windstorm over Oregon and North California blew down thousands of trees and caused great crop damage in Sacramento Valley.
Wow, that's really interesting. They're seeing some wind there right now too from that upper level trough over there in the northwest, but it's not nearly as bad as that. They're seeing a few light breezes there, maybe even some Santa Ana winds starting up there. So hopefully we don't see any like wildfires or anything like that starting to pop up in that area.
Because I know there was a wildfire that has been going on and on. They're slowly
for several weeks.
Getting it contained. So let's hope that.
Yeah, if you want to check us out, we have our forecast online all the time on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
Or on Twitter at FSU Weather.
And you can also watch any show and this one on youtube.com/live/FSU Weather. For tonight, I'm student meteorologist Brantley Kike.
And I'm student meteorologist Colleen Peterson.
Good night.
Have a good night.